Welcome back to Canadian Formal. On today's episode, we are going to be going through my full collection of vests. So if you're ready to look the best in your vest, stay tuned. Good day and welcome back to Canadian Formal. I'm Curtis Allen, and I have a passion for making the men of the Great White North look and feel their very best. So on today's episode, we are going to be talking all things vest. I've been wanting to do an episode on vests for quite some time, and I really wanted to look at what to look for when picking out a vest. And then I realized that's very difficult because there are such a wide range of vests and waistcoats to look at. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to look through a wide selection from casual to formal, from understated to bright as the sun. So let's start right here, right now. This is a gray RW & Company cotton cardigan style vest. And what I mean by cardigan style is that it wraps around and has a button front or placard to secure it. Now this is very common in casual and formal vests to have a button down. Now of course, as you can see here, the buttons are larger, plastic. That tends to be more casual. Also, the vest being cotton makes it quite casual also. So casual vests are great, and they're a great thing to wear over a shirt like this. And why I chose a shirt like this is because it is very distinctly patterned. It's quite bright, and what a vest does is it tones it down a little bit, but you still get to see the patterning all down the arms, all down the shoulders. And that's something you're not going to get with a standard cardigan. I find a standard cardigan is going to cover up too much of the shirt below. So you want both things, the shirt and the vest, to work in tandem. But this is a very simple, straightforward vest. And that's why I've chose to put it with a more loud, bright shirt. But you can also go the other way, and that is the second vest we are going to look at. So when I say you can go the other way with your shirt-vest combination, this is what I mean. This is a Banana Republic cotton blue and gray cardigan style vest. So it is in a lot of ways similar to the RW vest we just looked at, because it is casual and it is a cardigan style. There are a few key differences that make all the difference. So, number one is you want to wear this with more of a plain shirt, which is why I chose to pair it with this black Hugo Boss button down. Very straightforward, medium style collar. And what this vest adds is a couple of dimensions. Obviously you have the pattern in the front, but you don't have a pattern in the back. And not having the pattern in the back actually makes it more of a statement. And you will find with a lot of vests, both casual and formal, and almost always informal, that the front and the back are very different in style, color, and patterning. Sometimes even material. So this is another great option if you want the vest to speak out a little bit more than the undershirt. But we're not just tackling casual vests today. Let's take a spin around to the more formal side of things. Here is the quintessential example of a formal vest. It is charcoal gray, and it is polyester in the front and the back, but you can see it is the same pattern color throughout. So you're not getting that difference that we saw in the last vest. But there are a couple differences to keep in mind between the casual vest and the formal style of vest. So, number one is in the back, there is a clasping mechanism to tighten or loosen the vest. And that is in place because, one, you want to wear formal vests traditionally with a jacket. And that's why I fear the decline of the vest. We've been seeing a decline in formal vests for quite some time. Three-piece suits are losing a lot of ground to two-piece suits. And that's because people are wary of wearing a vest without a jacket. But unless it is a very formal black tie affair, I think it is perfectly appropriate to have the vest on without an accompanying jacket. Oftentimes, I see folks at weddings who will have a jacket on during dinner, and then when the festivities begin afterwards, dancing and whatnot, they will then remove their jacket but keep the vest on, and I think that gives a wonderful look. You do have to make sure that it will look appropriate, and what I mean by that is the back mechanism that you use to tighten and loosen. You don't want that to be so far stretched that it looks like it's starting to bunch in the back. And here's an example of what I mean. As you can see, there is quite a bit of bunching because you've had to tighten the vest so much that it doesn't look smooth and elegant as it does here. See here how it's appropriately fitting, and you're not seeing any of the bunching we saw in the previous photograph. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. But just because a vest is formal does not mean that it has to be boring or flat. Let's take a look at a little bit more fun of an option. And here we are with our last option, the John Varvatos vest, which is velvet and cotton. So this is a vest you don't see too often, and that's because of the shawl collar. All the other vests we've seen have a very thin V-neck collar, and this is also V-neck, but you have the folded collar, much larger with lapels and even some notching towards the top here. And this is a vest you want to wear in very specific occasions. This is not your everyday vest. If you don't have a vest or waistcoat, I would not look to something like this to be the first option. That would be more in the style of the previous vest we saw. But if you want to have some fun, kick up your style a little bit, I think this is a great choice. I love it with collared shirts if you're wearing the vest on its own. If you're wearing the vest with a suit jacket, sport coat, or blazer, I would not go with a collared shirt underneath. And that's because you then have collar on top of collar on top of collar. It is too much, it's too bunched. You want something with a much smaller, thinner, and non-folded collar, like this Christian Dior black button-down shirt here. You can see that style of collar is much more suited to this vest if you're wearing it with an accompanying jacket. But now that we've taken a look at several different options for vests, hopefully you can find the right pairing for you and your situation. And do click the like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon, because there will be a follow-up episode involving vests where we take another shot at cheap or steep vest edition. So do watch out for that. And if you haven't seen our first cheap or steep episode, that will be linked in the description, and that is involving turtlenecks, another one of my absolute favorite garments. So I'm Curtis Allen with Canadian Formal, hoping you will stay stylish.